Tommy, you played in some very exciting finishes against Italy. I think there was a match in South Africa with Alex and Duncan, with the drop goal. Does that kind of sum up how tough a team Italy are to break down?
I would say that's a perfect example. Yeah. You know, we've talked about it heavily this week in regards to the type of game we will have to play and consistently play in order to, you know, beat these guys. They're a hugely united squad in the way they go about things. They bring a lot of passion to the field, and they attack very well and they defend very well. You know, so it's going to be a long game in terms of looking for the breaks. And we've got to make sure we put in a solid, you know, 65-70 minutes in order to try and be really combative with that and be really physical and do the things that they're going to bring to the park as well, but up it a little bit in order to you know, to break away. If you look at, you know, the England fixture at Twickenham, you know, they scored 3 tries against England, which is no mean feat whatsoever. That shows their attacking prowess, but also how close the game was going into 65-70 minutes. You know, just shows you how much work has to be put in order to break these guys down. So as you alluded to, the 2 examples we've looked at were sort of last play of the game. Now, fingers crossed, we obviously don't want that again, because too close for comfort springs to mind. However, they're prime examples of how far these games with Italy, you know, have gone. You know, you'd be a very disillusioned man to say that it's going to be, you know, a lot easier than that this time around, because it certainly won't.
It's been good when we've seen the team going forward, but in terms of the defensive work done by Scotland over the last 2 games, the team must go in with a positive frame of mind, the way that you've defended against both France and Wales.
Yeah, we take, you know, a lot of onus on our defence. You know, Tatsu works incredibly hard with us. He's you know, he's a perfectionist in many ways. He wants things done right. He wants, you know, defence sets the tone for him. It's about, everything's built on the back of that. You know, you'd be a strong man to argue against that, really. You know, if your defence performs well and you're creating pressure on their attack, and, you know, you're turnovering the ball and making the breakdown, you know, difficult for them to win, then, you know, you can get a lot of success off the back of that in terms of, you know, counter-attack and, and breakaway tries and things like that. So, the boys have put in huge shifts over the last 2 games, and I think it's shown the strides we've made as a squad, you know, in the direction that we want to go in as players. So yes, there'll be no less intent, shall we say, in our defence coming up in this fixture. It still takes, you know, pride of place amongst what we're going to be trying to do.
Just a final question. Peter comes in at stand-off, but he's got a lot of club mates round about him. You know, you look at the back 3. You've got Mark and Alec as well in the centre partnership. That back line that you've got, when you look at the tries that are beginning to be scored, you know, Alec with the 2 against Italy, corresponding fixture last year. Hoggy's making, you know, the 80-metre run a speciality. So there's finishing there, there's a bit of creativity in the backs. It must be great in training, working as a unit, looking forward to a game like this.
Yeah, you know, I'm delighted for Pete. Really happy. He's worked so hard, and he's a brilliant footballer, so he deserves his place there. And like you said, hopefully what we can do to help him out, you know, Grieg will help him loads from 9, and being the skipper as well, you know, he can get a lot of direction, and Grieg will certainly, you know, fill that role very well. And in terms of the rest of us, then obviously, like you've said, because we played with him at the club, then, you know, hopefully that's good for him, and he feels comfortable in having that around him. And, you know, it's our responsibility to help him out, you know. And if he needs options and things like that, then we're there to provide them with him, and he can go about and play his game, which he does very well, and he can be as, you know, effective as he has been for